Welcome, everybody, to the Heartbeat of Mother Earth Summit. I am your host, Jocelyn Mercado, and I am so excited today to have here on the summit Simona Musilkova. Welcome, Simona, and thank you so much for participating in the summit.
Hello and welcome. Thank you.
Simona is a licensed clairvoyant consultant and intuitive life coach. Her yoga and energy healing practice and an intuitive connection to nature have supported her in manifesting natural healing miracles. Over the past 16 years, along with being in corporate finance, she studied and practiced indigenous wisdom and shamanic practices all over the world. With playfulness and a joyous approach through her ecstatic dances and sacred ceremonies, she helps her clients experience the unseen spiritual world. By helping them to understand what they experience, they learn how to look within themselves and experience the inner joy in life at every present moment. Wonderful, Simona. And so our topic today is connect with spirit and live in joy. And so, Simona, I would love to ask you to start out, if you could share with us about how you came to be on this path and how you started out doing this type of work.
Well, I was born and raised in the Czech Republic, and I learned yoga when I was 13 years old, actually from my friend's book that he had at his parents' library. And he said, don't touch it, it's illegal. And of course, because it was in a communist country, so I asked him, can I please have it for 2 weeks? So I read it back and forth a few times, memorized the hatha yoga poses, and I'm doing that ever since, pretty much 5 days a week. I start my day with doing yoga, which I can't live without. Also, I was lucky to have a connection with nature in the Czech Republic. And when I was 13, I had a dream of going to California, San Francisco, because I heard you can ski, play tennis, and rollerblade all in one day. So my journey took me through Australia, where I learned English and I connected with nature there. I had an encounter with my first encounter with wild animal was a snake in the water. I was in a Kakadu National Park following this crocodile looking like guide, dandy. And he made me jump in a pool of water that was leading to the waterfall where everybody else was. And he just jumped and disappeared. I said, well, there's no way for me to go back. I have to jump down. And there was a snake in the water. So I just had full faith and trust. I'm going to do this. And as I swam with the snake, we passed each other, looking into each other's eyes. And I had full respect. I respect you, honor you. Please give me the same. And we just passed each other. So that was pretty touching. And then a couple of weeks later, when we were at Fraser Island in Australia, I was doing yoga on the sand dunes away from the camp, looking at the sunset. And there was a dingo coming towards me. It was a wild dog there in Australia. And the same thing, I just stood up and I said, I'm going to walk back to the campground. And we walked past each other, looking to each other's eyes. And I just had this trust and faith. Same thing, honor and respect. And we just passed each other and in peace. It was pretty amazing. So I did finally made it to San Francisco, where I've been for 20 years. And during that time, my brother passed, which was a sad, very sad thing for me. And I started to dance. I would find myself dancing all nights in clubs in Sydney, San Francisco, releasing and letting go of that grief and sadness. And I realized that later that's what I was actually doing. And I went to Sweat Lodge with Native American Indians at Mount Shasta. It was at a yoga retreat where I was praying deep in my heart, can I please connect with the spirit of my brother and have a communication from him? And it did happen. I heard a message. He was speaking to me saying, I am in a spirit world and I'm happy and I want you to be happy and continue living your life. And those were the words I was wishing all these years to hear from him. And I had a huge emotional release in my body. And then when I was in the woods, writing this in a journal the next day, I was writing, did this really happen? Mm-hmm. And I heard a heavenly choir singing from the forest deep. I was in the woods. I knew there was no sound system. It was this most beautiful heavenly music. And I knew that's a message from the spirit world. Yes, it exists. It's true. And that was my opening to learning and being curious about how to start communicating with the spirit world, higher self. And that's when I started doing meditations, connecting with my intuition, my higher self. Please guide me which way I need to go. And so I was doing this deep meditation. That was my first kind of prayer. Should I take this job in New York working for a hedge fund? Because I was in the financial industry in San Francisco. And a few days later, I was skiing and I tore my ACL. And I was literally stopped. No, you're not going there. So then I realized, I learned, well, I need to ask next time in a gentle way. Show me. Give me the message in a gentle way I can understand. And this injury was amazing because it put me on this path that led me to Brazil, see John of God. He's one of the world famous spiritual healers. He works with 33 spirit guides, and they're psychic surgeons that passed on, or saints that help us heal. And so he connects with them. You go there and you pray, meditate. I received 3 psychic surgeries during that time. I was there for 3 weeks, and it was a dive into meditation, because after the surgery, you're supposed to lie in bed for 48 hours with your eyes closed. And I was learning how to meditate in San Francisco before that. I couldn't sit more than a few minutes. And so this was pretty transformational. I had to do that 3 times during that visit, plus being in silence the whole 3 weeks. One of the ways he heals, he gives you permission, or it's actually prescription, to go to a healing waterfall they have there, and you receive a healing from the water spirit. Mm-hmm. So I learned how to enter the water temple, talk to the spirit and say, may I please enter and receive healing. And so you feel this beautiful energy around the waterfall, how sacred it was there, all these people praying for all these years. It's been there for 30 years. And so you pray and ask the water, and the same thing Native Americans, Indian do, and I'm sure other indigenous cultures. You allow the water rinse off any negativity from your mind, from your thinking, from your emotions, from your body, any pain, and cleanse your spirit too, any attached spirits. So, and you ask it to charge you up. So that was just a beautiful way of opening myself to spirit. And then I also went to Berkeley Psychic Institute and learned about energy healing and clairvoyance. It's a 2-year clairvoyant program. And I started sharing my experiences of healing because my ACL actually fully recovered and healed. I would say it's a miracle. People didn't believe me. I had no support from anyone. They said, you can't do this. You can't stretch a rubber and attach it to your bones, but it grew back. And so that's pretty powerful. So I've shared it with several people. There was one woman at the dance, and she canceled her surgery next week. I had a few sessions with her. She pretty much did what I shared with her, and she healed fully too. So I started doing sessions and clairvoyant reading sessions with people since then. And my path led me to Bali, where I started doing shamanic sacred nature walks, teaching people how to talk to trees and receive a healing.
Mm.
So that was a beautiful way of watching how people connect with spirit and receive healing, receive their lower back pains disappear right away, or they receive downloads from Mother Earth and have heart openings. So after that, I went to Boulder and have been here for the last 5 years. I've been running sacred ecstatic dance here for that during that time, helping people connect with their higher self and what it feels like to have their spirit dance them and connect with them on a level they haven't before, and they find a way that they move that they have never moved before. So, and also opening to joy in a playful way. And so it's been my pleasure to build a community here in Boulder, and now also online, doing ecstatic dance online with people that can't be here. They don't have dances like this in their cities. So
wonderful. Yeah, what a beautiful and amazing journey you've had. And what stands out to me is just that you've been so open to, to the unknown and the unseen, and just letting it flow to you. It's really, really beautiful. Thank you for sharing. So Simona, what do you recommend for people who are seeking to feel more joy in their lives?
Well, it's the spiritual connection. I connect with Mother Earth and the source energy, and I allow the golden light fill me up, and I connect with Mother Earth on a different level. I start in the morning and I visualize it even before I get out of the bed. And I try to always catch the sunrise, because when I look at the sun, my heart just opens up and I feel this love. And in that, when you feel the love, look outside or walk outside as soon as I can, connect with the trees or nature and feel the energy and love. Is just pure joy. I feel this amazing, amazing joy. So if you can't walk outside or you don't have much nature around, even can bring it into your house and have beautiful pictures and images that uplift you. So surround myself with reminders of times when I'm joyful, or of the beautiful connection to spirit beings and nature. And then another way I connect with the joy in my heart is through dance. I love to dance because it allows me to be fully free. The way I do it, it's kind of in a sacred way. And playfulness. I put on music I love, and I love dancing alone in nature. I love being alone in nature too, when I walk outside and see how beautiful the earth is, the mountains, the trees, the waters. It's just feeling the love for Mother Earth and feeling her love. It's pretty easy, and it's the ultimate way of feeling the love, and then you find joy in it too. So I go outside in nature, and I also dance by myself, or we organize dances with people. And when there's more people, I love dancing with people too, where we are barefoot on earth, connect to breathing or meditation, invite our connecting with our higher self and spirit around us, and there's magic in the air. Everybody just has a smile on.
Wonderful. Beautiful. So can you share with us, in your experience, how do you connect with the spirit world, and how do you receive the messages that are out there for you?
So it's an intention. First of all, I always ground and connect with myself, because that way I can be present in the here and now. And I connect with the angels and animals, the spirit of animals and the trees. It's a form of a prayer and meditation. When we ask, it's the allowing the spirit to connect with you and communicate with you. So when I ask for help, or it's just the intention, I would like to connect with you. Show me the way, if it's with a spirit guide or a tree, and then you sit and meditate. So you receive the answers, or the messages come. So it's either through, I have a lot of animals come to me when I ask an important decision in my life I need to make. And sometimes I'm unsure, I'm not grounded or centered. And I pray, the Spirit, please show me a way. Am I supposed to do this? And there's an animal that shows itself up. I had a coyote running in the afternoon on the middle of city to show me, no, you're not supposed to do this. When I asked, am I supposed to do this or not? Because I wasn't getting yeses the whole week. I'm like, well, am I supposed to not do it? And there he was. So another way of connecting with the spirit world is, I asked Native American Indian, well, how do you connect with the spirit world? And he says, well, if I have a question, I ask it and I see a bird fly by, that means yes. So I walked outside into the woods after I saw him, went for a little walk, and I prayed and asked, Spirit, show me, am I supposed to attend this peyote ceremony the following weekend that he invited me to? And is this land good for me to connect with and stay on? And then I look up and there were hundreds of birds in the sky doing mandalas. They were like doing these amazing, beautiful mandalas, and they started spinning into spiral, into the source, into the universe. I knew that there was a sign. Yes, we are all interconnected. He was true. He was right. It's true. And then I walked to my car and asked the older gentleman that lived there, did you see these birds? It's like, I've never seen this many birds here before. So I knew that was really real. It was a direct experience. Another time when I was learning about spinning and dancing with intention, I went for another hike on a mountain and I started spinning with the intention that I am spinning into the source energy and connecting with the magic and bringing to here and now. And as I started spinning, again, there was about 100 birds that started flying from the valley from different directions, and they started spinning and flying in the same direction as I was spinning to the source. So I knew that that's a validation that whatever I was doing, it's for real. And yes, synchronicities too, and magic. When you get into that state of higher awareness or paying attention to signs, because sometimes it takes a couple days or 3 days for the sign to come to you when you ask and pray. Synchronicities unfold. One way I receive yeses and guidance from the universe is when I see double and triple digit numbers. I see 111, 11, 11 so much. And it's always at a time when I'm doing something and I pay attention. Oh, I know I'm at the right place at the right time. So it's lovely to have that communication from the spirit world and guidance, and you're on your path and everything unfolds. And it's the other way of connecting with your joy, when you're on your path, following your higher self. You just enjoy, because you're doing the right things, you're supposed to do them, and there's this innate joy that comes in your heart because you're here on purpose. So
wonderful. Yeah.
And another couple examples I would like to share is connecting with the spirit world. I love to do it when we dance too. We create a sacred space at our dances here in Boulder. And I also help other people ask us, how do you get into this unseen world and receive messages? So after one of the dances, this lady comes and just like, what kind of dance is this? I was dancing and there was a veil to the spirit world, and there was a guide, spirit guide, giving her a message. So other people have experiences like that during dances. And it's really beautiful to know that spirit is all around us, supporting us. What I love to do is when I organize outdoor dance in the mountains, I walk the land and I feel the land speaks to me and says, it's right here. So I am guided. I find the place where we will do the dance, and I sit there and lay on the ground. I love to connect with the ground, walk barefoot. I try it every day. That's another way to connect with the ground too, with the earth. And take a nap. I love taking naps in nature because it helps me harmonize myself, release any AMF energy, and get connected. And then I start to communicate with the trees and the spirit of the land. And I pray and ask, spirit of the land, the animals, the trees, do I have a permission to do the dance here? And I listen. So at that specific instance, the land spoke to me back and said, well, under two conditions. Number one, you're going to be loving towards the earth and respect it, the nature. And the other one is you're going to be loving towards each other. I'm like, okay, that's easy. We can do that. So the dances have been amazing up there. We had people had connection with Mother Earth. It's been very peaceful and loving. And this other location, which we did indoor dance at the spiritual center, first time I went there, I said, well, let me connect with the temple of the spirit of the temple. So I asked and I said, do we have permission to do the dance here? And the spirit of the temple asked me, well, what's your intention? I said, well, I asked my spirit guides. I said, well, what is the intention? Just to validate, make sure, double check, because I work with them. They said, well, it is what's your overall intention for your dances, to allow people being their higher self and what it feels like as they dance. So the temple, the spirit of the temple said, yes, you're welcome to do the dance. And I always ask for protection. So we are protected at the events. And as I was sitting outside, meditating, digesting this beautiful communication, like 5 minutes later, there was a fox that came by, and it was just casually walking, looking into my eyes. And then there was like a coyote following the fox and another coyote afterwards. And as I was driving down the hill, there was a bear on the side of a road eating berries. And I was one of the first cars. I had to stop, and we were watching how the bear finished eating his berries and climbs over the fence and disappears. 4 animals came and said hello and validated that whatever is happening, we are all connected. This is the right thing to do. Yes, yes, yes. So it was beautiful.
Yeah, and those aren't animals that you just come across every day either, to see a bear up close like that. That's pretty meaningful. Really beautiful. So I'm curious to learn more about your healing experiences, and particularly with your ACL healing. That's just really amazing. So could you tell us more about that?
Yes, I would love to share that. So when I was a John of God, I learned how to receive healing from the spirit world. And how it works is when I was in a surgery room, they call it. It's actually a meditation room where these people come and you attune. It doesn't take very long. It's maybe a 15-minute process. and you pray and ask. You allow the Spirit. You open your heart and body and say, Spirit, please come and touch me and heal me. So you're sitting there with your heart open, and you put your hand on the area of body like a healing. I put it on my knee, and you also say, please help me heal my knee or anything else that I need a healing on. And you attune, and you, in that moment, you're receiving the healing. And they keep, once you say this prayer, they continue working on you. And then you go and you lay down and you're in a deep meditation. I actually had direct cuts in my stomach and in my kidney because I needed to heal my stomach ulcer too. I was just sitting, meditating, praying in a park, and the stabbing was happening, and I knew it was the Spirit touching me. So it was, again, direct experience. I knew this is for real. So that was one way, but also I learned how to listen to my body, and I got another message that I needed to do a full body detox. So because once you support your body in healing, your body can heal much faster. And visualizations, and I was helping with my mind and prayer, and it's the faith and trust and time, patience. It takes time to heal. It took me a year, and I was listening to my body. I was resting, and so that was with the ACL. And another way I would like to share with you is healing with the trees. Emotional healing. Trees are so good at helping people release their emotions. So the way I do it is I find a tree that I like, and I go to it and I say, hi, tree, do you want to be my friend? And I feel there's an opening, or he speaks to me and says yes. So then I go and I feel the aura of the tree, and I connect with it, and I sit there and I talk to it. I share what's going on in my life, and I ask for guidance. And every time when he speaks to me back, it goes straight in my heart. I know it is just like that. So if one way I was healing after a breakup with my boyfriend, and so I went to do a camping trip in the redwoods for 4 nights, and that was my intention. I found a tree, and I would go and ask him, would you please help me release this pain from my heart, and anything that happened prior to that relating to my heart pain. And so every morning I would wake up, my pain was less and less. And last day I woke up and I had no pain in my heart. So I was running into the forest, and I said, wow, what do I do now? And the tree said, just go and have fun. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So, and dance is a wonderful way of connecting with the Spirit too, and receiving a healing. It's the intention. We always start with the prayer, meditation, with breathing, allowing the higher self come into the body and the spirit around us. So when we dance, you release a lot of stagnant energy in your body, stress and tight muscles, and those emotions that are ready to go. You release them and connect with this joy and love as you dance. It's just so fast healing.
Wonderful, wonderful. So for everybody listening, what kind of practices do you recommend that we can all use to connect with Mother Earth?
Well, when I would love to share with you going into nature by yourself, if you can, for 5 days is the best thing you can do. Leave your computer, cell phone at home, walk in nature and observe and feel the spirit of of everything, of the trees, of the rocks, of the waters, and open yourself to the subtle on energies of the spirit all around you. And when I travel, I create a sacred space, or when I go to a campground, I create a sacred space, or at home. So you bring sacredness into your life. And that's how I connect. You can light a candle. I'd like to light the fireplace, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that would be beautiful.
And you can connect with the fire, with the element of fire. And I use pine cones as the starter.
I'm sure that creates a beautiful aroma.
Sorry,
I said,
you can hear me?
A beautiful aroma to use the pine cones.
Yes. So you can light a candle if you can't make a fire at home, or and connect with the spirit of the fire. Even when you take a shower, connect with the water and allow it to rinse you off spiritually and charge you up. I connect with the animals. I would love to share with you my one experience camping. One of my biggest dreams in my life was to find a place in nature where I can live and be undistracted, where I can stay for one summer. And I did find this land in the mountains. I was there for 4 months. And I built a little dome, and I had an outdoor kitchen away from the dome because there were bears and mountain lions and everything around this whole vision dream, because I had it for so long, was just magically manifesting. So I was sitting under the tree one day, and I had a headset on as I was working on my DJ set. And I felt somebody watching me. I look up, and there was a bear sitting and watching, looking at me. So that was the first time I saw a bear, or I had an interaction with a bear like that. So I stood up and I said, "Get out, this is my space." And he just ran away. So I was not being macho-ish or angry or it was just saying, this is my space, respect me, because I honor and respect you too. So that was, I had a few other times bears come and try to say hello in my campground, because they actually do want to be a friend. They want to be friends, but we don't want to be friends with much stronger animals like that. One time I had a moose come as I was in the morning stretching by a tree. And I look, and we startled at each other. There was a male moose, and we're just looking at each other. And it was a long moment. And I was thinking, well, I'm in the way. So I made a little move, like, I'm giving you a sign. This is my territory too. I honor, respect you. So it just turned around and ran away. But the way it was running, it was this majestic, beautiful, like angel-like and angelic presence. It was so beautiful. I like to just compare it with my other experiences. I was hiking this last summer in the mountains, and I was by myself. I was 5 miles away from the road and people. And as I was hiking, in the moment, I knew I'm going to see a bear. I just knew it. And shortly after, I was hiking, and there he was. He was pulling a branch and just like playing with it. And it was so cute. I'm like, oh my God, there's a bear. But in a moment, I had fear. I'm like, oh my God, this is kind of, it's his territory. And in a moment, I called light to myself. I grounded, I connected with the source energy, with Mother Earth. I called the angels and I asked them, what do I do? And they said, just keep walking. And as I was doing this attunement, a branch cracked underneath me and I knew the bear heard me. I look over and he was on his fours. And when I looked, his back was as big as a cow, a huge cow. I was like, oh my God, bears get this big. This is a big bear. So I was just praying. I was in my golden light and I was trusting. I had faith. Okay, golden light, protect me, angels. And I just kept walking. And I look around. He wasn't behind me and I was relieved. I was like, okay. I actually did that telepathical communication with him. I said, I know you know I'm here. I know you're there. I honor you, respect you. Please give me the same. You have nothing to worry about. So we can telepathically communicate with animals. So I invite you, you can start opening yourself to it. Open your fifth chakra, which we did on my shamanic journeys in Bali, helping people through meditation, open to the unseen energy, subtle energies of telepathic communication with beings, tree beings, animals, spirit beings. So, one other way that I would like to share with you is when I had a client, I was giving him a clairvoyant session, and he asked me, I would so love to see an owl. I have never seen an owl. And I said, well, let me share my experience with you. I was camping one day and I was doing this breathing meditation. When you breathe out into the infinity of universe, and as you breathe in, you bring the whole world and put it inside of your heart. And you do that a few times. And as I was doing that, there were 2 owls that flew right above my head and sat on the tree next to me. And I looked at them and was like, wow, you're so beautiful. This is the first time I saw an owl. And then I stopped doing meditation. They flew away. And then I started doing the breathing again. And they flew right back. And they sat on a teepee next to me. I was like, okay, well, I guess you are attracted to this energy of being connected to the source energy, and we're all interconnected. So I said, let me do the meditation with you. I said that to my client. So we did the meditation, and as we were breathing, 2 minutes later, he looks up and there was an owl sitting on a tree.
Wow.
He was so happy. He was so excited. So magic is in the air and everybody can access it. So I welcome you to connect with Mother Earth on all these different levels. I would like to maybe share with you about oneness ceremony. If you allow, do we still have time?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd love to hear about, any other work that you're doing or upcoming events or offerings that you would like to share with the audience.
Okay, so we are doing this beautiful oneness ceremony, which is allowing us to be doing guided movements, sacred guided movements, where we step from duality, we leave off all the fears behind and negativity, and we step into oneness, unity, and feel one with all. And when we're doing it as a group together, there is a real power. We actually step through a portal into higher consciousness, new octave of awareness. And afterwards, I experienced it. Other people experienced it too. When you're connecting with another person, I was dancing with this woman, and I felt one with her. We were one, and that happened with other people in the group too. It was really amazing, because what happens is we enter, all the doors open. In your life, and you feel a renewed sense of being, aliveness, effortlessness. And so it's really nice when you're feeling this shift of energy. So those are the oneness ceremonies that we do.
And I wanted to say something quickly about that, if I could, that we live in this illusion of separation all the time, that we're separate from one another, that we're separate from nature. And so I just think that is the most beautiful healing idea to offer a oneness ceremony.
Yes, I'm glad. Yes. Well, I would like to share with you the events that we're doing here in Boulder, ecstatic dances. We do them in nature or indoors, so we can look it up on my website. And I'm also doing online sacred ecstatic dance. If you're not in Boulder and you're at home in a city where there's no dances like this, join us online. We're gonna dance together in the comfort of your home. Just plug it into your sound system, and we're going to dance, and I'll guide you through a little bit of the meditation and how to create sacred space. I do also other online classes, how you can connect to the spirit world, and other ways sharing about healing and other topics. And there's a retreat coming up in Boulder in the Colorado mountains this June coming up. It's a 4-day weekend, so we'll be doing nature connecting ceremonies, dances, delicious food. So sign up, look it up. It will be lovely to have you. And also one more thing is that I do clairvoyant sessions, and the intention is I will help you. I'll look at how you're doing on your spiritual path, what's helping you, what's holding you back, and then how you communicate personally with the spirit world, how the spirit world communicates with you. So you can sign up. I give free 15-minute sessions, so you can also sign up for those. And you can hire me. I love going to other people's retreats and bringing the sacred oneness ceremony or other ceremonies, honoring the full moon, new moon, equinoxes, solstices, and do sacred ecstatic dance. I throw wonderful dances. So invite me to your retreats. You can connect with me too. And there's a free gift that you can receive when you visit my website. Should I share that one too?
Yeah, absolutely. And for everyone, once you hear Simona explain it, if you look just below this interview on this webpage, you can get the link right there and click right through to access the free gift. But go ahead, Simona, I'll let you tell about it.
Yes, you can download a specialty ecstatic dance DJ set that I put together, because I always put music for all my dances together, so you can receive that and sign up for raffle to receive a free clairvoyant session with me.
Wonderful, wonderful. And are you how many people are you choosing for the raffle? Will be one winner?
1 out of 50. So 1 out of every 50 people.
Okay. Fantastic. That's very generous. Thank you. And I also want to share with everybody that's listening that for the Women with a Vision retreat that I'm hosting in May, which will be in the Great Smoky Mountains in North Carolina, I'm very excited to note that Simona will be there and will be doing a oneness ceremony at the beginning of the retreat, and then also an ecstatic dance practice on Saturday morning and Sunday morning as a part of the retreat. So if you love what you have heard here, come and experience it in person, either at one of her events in Boulder, her retreat in June, or at this retreat in May. And there will be more information on these events a little lower down on the page.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Simona.
Thank you so much too. It was lovely to share all this with you.
Yes, thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Namaste.